Namaskar. I'm Kumar Rakesh, and you're watching Global Governance News TV. Now, Taliban is just talk of the world issues. How Taliban is going, how Taliban is growing, how Taliban is going to accept, who is accepting Taliban, and why anybody accepting. Why should be accepted? These are some of the questions, some issues we'll discuss. And before going that, today, the Indian External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, uh, sharing view on in UNSC about the terrorism and peacekeeping, how should maintain, should not be accepted. Just chairing the UNSC meeting, first time in the history. And one just news I'll just read that is a very disturbing, but strategically, whatever China has done with Taliban, there is a very important. So uh, this is a very recent news how the Chinese State Council and Foreign Minister Wang Yi meets Mullah Abdul Ghani Biradar, political chief of Afghanistan's Taliban, in Tianjin, China on July 28. The picture you can see on our screen also. Series of photo published last month by Chinese district media of Foreign Minister Wang Yi standing shoulder to shoulder with visiting Taliban officials, decked out in the traditional tunic and turban, raised eyebrow on the country's social media. Since then, China's propaganda machinery has quietly begun preparing its people to accept an increasingly like scenario that Beijing might have to recognize the Taliban, the hardline Islamic movement, that is rapidly gaining territory Afghanistan as Latin region. Even they can't control the whole country, there should still be a significant force to reckon it. An influential social media commentator to the familiar with China's foreign policy thinking wrote on Thursday. The commentator, who goes by the pen name, whatever, made the remarks on the WeChat channel. So these are the inputs how the China, how the Russia just shake hand with the Talibanis and Pakistan. The, obvious we know the originator of Taliban. So how the acceptance of Taliban should be or not be, why or why not, for the strategical point, for the world, for the humanity. So we have the Anita Choudhary ji, political analyst and foreign affairs expert from the India, and Alok Lahad ji, senior journalist, keeping an eye on the from sitting in Spain, keeping an eye the world affairs from Spain, and Vandana Jhingan ji, sitting in Chicago, senior journalist and eye on the world affairs. So, Anita ji, how do you analyze the all situation? Just acceptance of Taliban. I read the statement of China first. How China, Russia, and Pakistan. Where is India stand? Where does India stand for?
India has very much clear its
Anita ji.
stand today in. Yes, are you getting me?
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
Uh,
yeah.
India has very much cleared his stand today in UNSC. And the way
Some
Jaishankar,
network
our
problem.
External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar has rode in the UNSC, we should feel proud that many of us are believing that India should keep silent and watch and wait for the time. And according to time, the India should react. But India has clearly said that we should not promote any kind of terrorism, and world should get unite on this, because there is no variant of terrorism that is a good terrorism or bad terrorism. There is no variant. uh, the COVID is true, but terrorism is more truer than COVID. He said, and I am just quoting few lines of Jaishankar. What he has said: terrorism is in all form and manifestation must be condemned by the world. He said, And he said, what is truer of COVID is even truer of terrorism. None of us are safe until all of us are safe. Very, very, very sensible line you can find in his statement, that none of us are safe until all of us are safe. If anyone or any country is not safe, it means the world is not safe. And he again said that India never recognized any kind of terrorism. He mentioned there the 26/11 incident, the Pathankot election, incident in 2016, and the Pulwama incident also that there is a various time India has faced the terrorist attack, but India never compromised with the situation, always believed that terrorism should be countered, and we fight against
Some network
always
problems.
against that. He mentioned that ISIS Kushan is a group who is expanding very aggressively, even in Pakistan, in Afghanistan and Africa. Haqqani group, the Western world believe that Haqqani group is the most uh, dangerous group among the terrorist group. But Haqqani group is
Anita,
giving
your network is so
protection.
come and go. Just I think, can you
Somebody
check
very
the
fine
network,
here.
please? Huh? Pardon?
I
Might
can
be
hear her
some kind
loud
of
and
network
clear.
problem.
We can
Now
hear
it's
her very
okay.
well. Hi there,
Come,
Ash.
We
come
can
and
hear her
go.
very well.
Screen come and go.
No,
Not
no,
your
not for
screen.
us. Not for
But
us. It's very
listen
fine.
to me. Don't bother about my face. Just go with my voice. India has
Okay,
told
just
that
also problem in this
Haqqani group
hearing.
is giving protection to all kind of terrorists. That is the Al Qaeda or Jaish-e-Muhammad or either is Taliban. So if Western world is condemning Haqqani group, so why not they are condemning that Al Qaeda? Why they are seeing this Al Qaeda and Jaish-e-Muhammad or Lashkar-e-Toiba in from a different eyes? They should be united. There should be one view on terrorism. This is the statement of India in UNSC, and India raised voice on the issue of Afghanistan. India said that as a country, India has a lots of cultural and strategic relation with Afghanistan. We believe in Afghanistan government. We are with the Afghanistan people, and we will wait and watch, and world should come together. This is the statement of one more development happened in Afghanistan. There is a valley named Panjshir. It means the Panch Sheron ka Valley, Five Lions Valley. In Panjshir Valley, the vice president of Afghanistan, that's Amrullah Saleh, he belongs to that valley only, and people say that this is the only one valley where Taliban has never ever captured that valley, and they have never ruled that valley. This valley always created formed the northern front, which fight. It's not today and not about the Taliban against USSR. Also, only this valley was standing against the USSR, capturing and their all kind of military actions. So Amrullah Saleh, Ahmad Masood, and Rashid Dostan, they met today in that valley. They all are the enemy of the Taliban, and they are uniting, and they have raised the flag of Northern Front also.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
80s flag. They have raised the flag of Northern Front, and Amrullah Saleh said that I am not going to let down my country. I will fight
Hello?
against Taliban till my last blood, till my death. And I'm telling you, when you have that kind of jazba, when you have that kind of passion to fight against your enemy, this always brings revolution and change. So I believe that there is still one hope, that is the Panjshir Valley, and we should appreciate the Vice President of Afghanistan, that is Amrullah Saleh, the way he is uniting all the enemy of Taliban and fighting for their countrymen. Thank you.
So Alok ji, actually, I was just the problem just hearing maybe the network problem from my side, but voices come and go. So I think the our subject is the acceptance of Taliban, and how just you analyze the situation as the China, Russia, and the Pakistan has showing interest to work with and just going to recognize the Taliban government in Afghanistan.
Thank you for this evening. Good evening to all the panelists. Should India recognize Taliban? That's the question. There is no hurry to do it. Let's.
Not for
Shankar ji
India,
has been very
globally,
clear.
globally. India also, but this is globally.
Okay,
Global
we're talking
acceptance.
globally.
Yeah,
What
global acceptance of
choice
Taliban.
do we have? What choice do we have? We are talking like Russia and China. They have already kind of recognized. Pakistan should be, come. Their recognition should be coming any day if they have not done it already. Now the thing is, like, what choice do we have, so to say? What I feel is that the main parties to this were Afghanistan, of course, United States were there, and it was also Pakistan, because Pakistan was playing hand in glove always with the Americans. Now, when the Doha Treaty is signed, Afghans were not invited. It was decided between the Americans and the Pakistanis and the probably the NATO forces. That's all. That was the decision taken. Now the thing is that were the people of Afghanistan betrayed? Yes, they definitely were betrayed. Not only by the Americans, they were betrayed by the Pakistanis, because Pakistanis and Americans were hand in glove all through. Americans couldn't have worked without Pakistan's collaboration, and the other way around. And the Afghan government, or Ghani's government, is also to be blamed, because what did he do? Did he stand by with the American, the Afghan people? Why did the Afghan army not retaliate? Like, I was listening to a viewpoint by some Indian army officer. He said the attacking army should be 1:3. Wherever we see is that the Afghan army was well trained. It was trained by the Americans. They had the best of the equipment in the world, and they got almost the best of the training. Why did they not fight back? I mean, it is as simple as that, because they knew from day one that their president, Ghani, was also having a deal with the Talibans. Their defense minister came in, I think, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and he was also not given a leverage. So everybody was dealing with Taliban. So now we come up with this golden question that should the rest of the world be dealing with Taliban? What happened with the Europeans, embassies there? What happened with them? They just left. And the Afghan workers who were there, they came up in the morning and found that the doors were locked, and or they were to be working there, and they worked for 3 or 4 days, and then nobody was picking up their phone calls either. So, it has been a great betrayal of the Afghan people. And Taliban were probably, everybody thought that the Afghans army would fight back. Why didn't the Afghan army fight back? Like, why should they fight back? They thought Americans had betrayed them, the Pakistanis had betrayed them. They, everybody betrayed them. Their own government betrayed them. So why get into a fight where you don't know who your enemy is? Are the Americans the enemy? Is the Afghan government itself the enemy, or Pakistan the enemy? So right now we don't have a choice.
Americans are the biggest enemy. Americans are the biggest enemy.
So right now we don't have any choice. Things are not so simple. And then Taliban's, obviously, who was helping them? In case Taliban, somebody must have been supplying them the arms. So was it Pakistan which was doing it behind the back of the Americans, or was it China and Russia? Somebody must have been doing. I understand that Russia would have been doing, because when USSR came in, and that is, a prelude to the Russians, and in the rest of the world, the sanctions which they are putting on USSR because of Ukraine or whatever, they had reasons why to make this a failure for USA. Now, that is very clear. Why were the Afghan themselves, not helping them? So I think the rest of the world right now does not have a choice, unless, of course, the ground reality changes, which means, like Anita ji was saying in the Panjshir, in case they retaliate back and there is another civil war in Afghanistan, which can happen, then the ground realities might change a little. But will they have enough support from the international community, or they would like them to be defeated so that Taliban comes and there is one single power there? So I don't think we have much choice. We cannot differentiate here between bad Taliban and good terrorism or bad terrorism right now as things stands. And history has told us that the history is written by the winners. The rest of us, and especially if I lock it down to India, we wouldn't have much choice but to talk with Taliban, and we've already started that. We did it slightly late because our policy has been too USA inclined. We're doing it lately, and one of the reasons that I can understand that they are doing it is because our Indian Air Force plane was escorted by the Taliban themselves. Our Indian Air Force, which took out our embassy and our consulate people out there, after the initial resistance, it was the Taliban who escorted them out and took them to the airport and they flew out.
Okay.
So we are into some kind of a deal. We don't know how well we are. Rakesh, Tiwari ji, I think there is some noise from your side. If you could mute your mic.
Yeah. Okay.
And so I don't think we'll have much of a choice, unless of course the ground condition changes and there is a civil war in Afghanistan, where there's a very slight possibility, but that possibility is there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So just as you said, Alok ji, the U.S. policy towards the Afghanistan, and after the withdrawal of troops of U.S. from Afghanistan, the Taliban movement started. So 20 years they were just living in peace, and what a peace, that is also matter of discussion. So Vandana ji, how you see the U.S. policy towards the Afghanistan under the Taliban, one, and how do you just analyze the Russia, China, and Pakistan triangle towards the Taliban regime in Afghanistan with respect to India relation?
Namaste and good evening. As you mentioned, US towards Taliban, if we see in today's time, who's the biggest loser? It is we people, to be honest. We lost money, we lost time, we lost our people also. Like, what did we gain out of it? And then everybody is bashing. US did its best, like they were trying to bring the peace in there. That's why they were sitting there. What was the need for US being over there? What was the gain? Second thing, this decision, how long? 20 years has already been there that we've been there. We've spent so much. But a pig is always a pig. There is not anything expected out of them, to be honest. Now, what is going to come, as Alok ji did mention, it's a wait and watch kind of situation. There will be some countries, we will see them, they will be softly talking about it, like, they will not be showing it. Because Taliban will try definitely to have bilateral relationship with the whole world. And we are seeing, is it on a gunpoint that they're going to go and talk to the UN also? Is it a new word coming? What's going on? So collectively, the small nation or the big nation, it is not about I always say that nobody is big in today's time, to be honest. So they have to come out together and talk. We do have so many coalitions, let it be G8, G20, we do keep summits. So what is the need of today's time? They should get together and talk to each other what they want to do about it. This is, they always say, if there is a cancer, you have to see how fast it is growing, or is it a slow growing cancer? So what treatment should be given? So all the people on the board, oncologist department, they sit down and they discuss. So this is a need of the time of all the nations those who are having some kind of thing, that they should sit down and discuss what and how Taliban should be done. If they come out with some strategy, put it behind on the table, like, but do it collectively. Don't go individually. China himself is thinking, as like you asked the question, China, Russia, and Pakistan. Pakistan की तो बात ही मत करो, because बात करने के लायक ही नहीं है. See, because and shamelessly, first they said, "Oh, we're going to do that," because when they didn't hear anything and from any other Islamic countries, Imran Khan is quiet, and we never know. Me and you are talking something, Imran Khan may be fiddling around, and he will come up, because there is no consistency. Means in that country, like, they've been used. India should be very strict about it when it comes to their own borders. India should be, as every country is thinking about their own self interest, India should be thinking about that too. Not to get into the sympathy mode of it, like the earlier it has happened before. Oh, yeah, because our channels, news media, is going to the people of Afghan origin, those who are living in India, and talking to them and creating a sympathy in the mind of people. Oh, my family is stuck there, and this and that. Government of India should do that, and this, that. Because what you see, it does impact a common man, to be very honest. But is the media trying to talk to those people, those who are claiming what has happened to the people? Like we saw that Rohingya problem is having big issue in India, like, so this can be also a future threat, to be honest. And that is what I want to say. Every nation has a right to protect themselves and their own people.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Vandana ji. Rakesh Tiwari ji, as just Canada took this decision very, very fast, just to withdraw all the support from the Taliban government in Afghanistan, Britain, US is just quarter policy, like very confusing, but Britain and Canada. How do you just see the respect to the Taliban government in Afghanistan?
Thanks, Kumar Rakesh and all the fellow panelists. Let me say this: Canada did the right thing for sure. When there is a chaos, there is no government. There is some, you can say, people with the arms. They are calling themselves Taliban. Our world is calling them them Taliban, and they have taken over on a country. So legitimizing them is in a question. How they are going to act or how they are acting, the world is watching. Canada is watching as well, because Canada is protected for the human rights. With all due respect, I do disagree with Vandana ji here that she mentioned a couple of things. Number one, that America has lost there, and now the whole world is blaming US and whatnot. Let's put it this way: that US is itself responsible. I remember yesterday when Alok ji was mentioning, and I have seen the pictures, and not only today, but we know that I'm not comparing any era or anything. At least when Soviets were there, or whatever was that that time, women were more free in that way, and they were doing whatever they were. The freedom of speech, a lot of things were there. Afghanistan should have progressed from that time onwards. But then the US invasion, and they have supported the same kind of the Mujahideen. They were not coming from the heaven. They had the same Talibani mindset. All those Mujahideen who fought against Russia or USSR at that time, they are and the Taliban is the next generation of them. And of course, the support of Pakistan is full-fledged over there. So this is not something happening in when we are talking about it out of blue moon. We were not expecting. At the same time,
Tiwari ji, just I'm just what I'm talking.
May I complete?
I am adding in your thoughts, but our question is Taliban acceptance.
I'm coming to that. That's where I'm coming to. So when we're talking about the acceptance of, as I mentioned, that the Pakistan and other Islamic countries, they are going to, they are one by one, they are going to accept it once, and they are, put it this way, they are all together with, in my understanding, wherever the Sharia law is applied in a different way, they will sooner or later they will accept Taliban. Let's be upfront here. What is Bharat's situation there? Well, Afghanistan has totally import and export they have banned with Bharat, so they have made their way clear that what is their view towards Bharat is there. As I was talking about Pakistan and the whole scenario, US is again more responsible for helping the corrupt regimes over there, helping the corrupt regimes over there. As Alokji has said rightly, how in the world is possible the 3-1 means, like, put it this way, three people are getting beaten by one person, and where the top you have every equipment over there. So definitely it was so corrupt. The system was so corrupt that even the Afghani soldiers, they did not fight, or they were not trained. Whatever we are saying, they were trained and whatnot, I don't think so. If they were trained enough, then they would have fought for sure. So now we are and Afghanistan is giving a hope to the Islamist ideology everywhere, including Bharat. As you know, that some of the voices are coming over there now. As you mentioned about the acceptance of it, Islamic countries who have applied Sharia law in their country, they will they'll be first in line. And some of the things, if Taliban will follow with the skepticism, because the US and the whole Western world know that in the mountains of Afghanistan, there is a trillions of dollars of minerals out there. Okay, so let me say this: the West, in my opinion, including Canada, is no flag bearer of democracy, and I don't think that near future any country who is going to fight for democracy or anything, who is going to believe and trust West, including US, Canada, and European countries. Thank you.
Anita ji, just we have seen, and we have just watching more than 70 countries keeping an eye on the development. And can you hear? Do you hear me?
Can you please repeat your words? Can you please repeat your question? Yeah, I can. I am.
Now, any Muslim, any Islamic countries have come forward just to support the Taliban and the Afghani refugees. One, what will the impact on the India of this Russia, China, and Pakistan equation with Taliban? Two.
Look, the geopolitics is changing, and many people are suggesting what is the option for India. India has the option that India also want to be the part of this geopolitics. India don't want to be the sit at his drawing room and watch the TV and look at what kind of development is going on, and how the America will enjoy this geopolitics, and how they will somehow they will question China, and in under table they will support China. This is the role of the US now for China. What happened to that report? The Joe Biden has ordered inquiry about the COVID-19 virus against China, and he mentioned there that I want a report within 90 days. This is the report within 90 days. What we are saying, we are witnessing in Afghanistan. So this is the report, and what happened that whenever your competitor, who is somehow in your office, is one line below you as in hierarchy, and because of his work and all that, he is going on, and he is about to counter you, or maybe you're a parallel boss, the operation boss, and you have a very bad relation, but that person is threat for you, so you both will get unite, and you will try to throw out that person. This is what happening today for India. India in this COVID situation, India has shown its 100% strength. Either waiting. America was waiting. China was waiting. My vaccine will grab the market of India. India will jao to udhar. हमारे पास already है. So this is the attitude. Medicine. India. मेरी medicine जाएगी. India has given medicine to the world. Not India has not taken a single medicine to imported any medicine from world. So India has shown its strength. This is the fact. Why America is so quiet, and why Russia is going there, and we can feel that Russia is now in support with China. They are the 5 countries, the power 5, the pseudo power 5 countries. They are the coward countries. The pseudo power 5 countries, they behave like a boss of this world, and they do what they have done in Iraq. ISIS was destroyed Iraq, and what America has done on that time. What happened to Syria, and what was the role of the US, Russia, and America in Syria? So this is the geopolitics, but the fact is that what you have asked me, that what will the impact of on India? So India is going to be the part of this geopolitics. We are from 30 to 35 years we are facing this counter terrorism and counter insurgency.
Anita
Not only in
Anita
Kashmir, but in other region also. So we fought with the Litte, we fought with the Pakistan, Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaish-e-Muhammad, and Hizb Mujahideen, all. So now it's time for the if Taliban is thinking that also get chance in Indian regime, then India is ready for that. We will again fight against the Taliban. We know how to handle the counter-terrorism and counter.
Anita ji, my question was different. You just elaborated in a different way. Alok ji, my question was, what will be the impact of this trio powers? How the America, I'll take the Vandana ji, how America...
I have given the proper answer. This was the only answer.
Okay, thank you. So nice of you. Actually, that is also a problem that your voice is breaking from my side. So that's my problem maybe. So Alok ji, what will be the impact of the trio? This is China, Pakistan, and Russia. Just to try to make a station. There's other than impact on India and the other country also. Same question.
Okay, now first of all, why limit ourselves to these 3 countries? I don't know. You made a choice, so I'll try limiting myself.
Not
to
about
them.
a choice. If I have seen whatever I'm watching, only the.
I mean, the main culprit from my point of view is United States of America. When we talk about Mujahideens, who created them? When we talk about Taliban, who created them? When we talk about the Afghan army, who created them? So you create Taliban with the help of Pakistan, and then you create Afghan army, and you want both of these groups to fight. So, America's done nothing great. They spend a lot of money. I don't know why. I know why. They spent, lots of lives have been lost. American lives and the Afghan lives and lives of the other NATO alliance, the friendly nations they had. All this was done because of only one reason. And that one reason is hegemony. To show the world that we are the most powerful country in the world and Russians don't matter. That is part 1. Part 2 is when USSR came in there. Just tell me one thing, the woman, which, has been my concern all over.
Not Russia, sir, not USSR now. Yeah.
No, it is not USSR, but we cannot rub it away from the Afghan problem. So had USSR taken it over and this had become a Soviet, and with Glasnost, this would have, turned into a different kind of country like Poland is, or let's say Kazakhstan is, or some other country like this. I would surprise you by telling you that the women's emancipation is the highest in the, post-Soviet countries, which means you can talk about Ukraine, you can talk about Czech Republic or Slovak Republic. If you see the women's emancipation, so what America has done by this to show that they were the most powerful country in the world has put the women folk of Afghanistan in the medieval ages. Now, Russia had the reason, I've already mentioned that, to put US down. So that's the reason I've always been saying that Afghanistan is the playground of the world forces. China is as good as India in the sense that Afghanistan is our neighbor. We cannot choose our neighbors and we cannot change our neighbors. So India has a choice. The choice India has is, if we do the sitting duck, which we have been doing until now, or we take a more proactive, stand and start dealing with the ground reality. The unfortunate thing is, whatever the reason, the Russians, the Americans, the Pakistanis, or whoever, Taliban is right now controlling Afghanistan. Most likely, they'll be making the government. This is the ground reality. We don't have a choice. So how do we deal with Russia? First of all, we have to do our course correcting. Our course correcting is that our tilt has been US based. And when it came to negotiations in Doha, Americans didn't call us. Russians could have called us, but Russians also did not call us because our tilt has been towards the Americans. So we have to first correct the tilt, at least when we are talking about, the geopolitics of our neighboring countries. We have to take our decisions, and there are no permanent friends or permanent enemies in international relationship.
Yeah,
we have to see what is good for us and deal with China or with Afghanistan. And I am also presuming that Taliban 2.0 would be different from the Talibans now. Now they know that they'll have to govern. So they have to have relationship with India or with Pakistan or with China or with Russia or the rest of the world.
Okay.
What kind of government they'll have? Most probably it'll be a Sharia law government, which is, from my point of view, at least for the women, it's a terrible situation. But let's hope that they at least let them have a hijab and not have a complete burqa. Because just imagine, like Anita ji talked about COVID, which I don't know was related, but let's relate it to it. We are in our houses with that mask on for 1.5 years.
Jaishankar has mentioned today in UNSC. Jaishankar has mentioned today in UNSC. राकेश जी जरा सुन के आया कीजिए, ऐसे ऐसे मत किया कीजिए.
नहीं मेरी बात सुनिए ना.
बहुत ऑब्स्टिकल क्रिएट करते हैं जब ऐसा ऐसा मुंह बनाते हैं तो.
अरे आप उनको बोलने तो दीजिए. आपके बोलने में कोई नहीं बोलता है. Let him speak.
Please.
आपके बोलने में नहीं बोल रही हूँ ना, आप चुप रहिए. और ऐसा सब जब भी कोई बोलते रहता है, आप 75 तरह के मुंह मत बनाया कीजिए. बहुत ही इरिटेटिंग लगता है.
Please.
आपको बुरा लग रहा है तो ठीक है, आप अपनी आंखें बंद कर लीजिए. What do I say? That's the way I am.
Please.
What is this?
Please. Okay.
Now, COVID, we guys were with the mask on. We still are. Okay, and we were relegated to the four walls of our house and see what psychological impact it had. So my concern right now and all through has been the women folk in Afghanistan. And I think the Americans are to be blamed and the Pakistanis are to be blamed and everyone else has to be blamed. China, of course, is trying to play a card, so that that trouble does not come into their own borders. And India should be doing the same things. We should try resuming the trade we have. The dry food market in India is 100% dependent on Afghanistan. And I think once they have to run the government, they'll also understand that trade comes over anything else. And it also comes over religion and ideology.
Actually, India has just adopted the wait and watch policy, but also keeping an eye in different way how to handle this situation. And all the experts of the India and all active on the every level and every step. Vandana ji, as Alok ji said, this is USA should be blamed for this. How this 20 years they were in Afghanistan and what they again won, and how the Trump reacted. Biden Sarkar go just like the Indian politician. So number two, how just there is any impact on the bilateral relation on India and USA, as well as India and Russia, China and Pakistan relationship,
as you mentioned, like it's a politics, to be honest, as we mentioned, because when we saw the 20 years of ruling in US, we had Democrats, 8 years Obama ruled, and this current president was vice president in his regime. So now he has taken over. So Republicans ruled for shorter period of time than the Democrat. The Bush was there too before Obama. We know that. And how this is going to be taking a turn, as I previously mentioned, now is the time that every country has to make sure, like they have to first, because there is a lot of pressure. There has been a lot of local pressure also, because pandemic, nobody has talked about contribution of China giving to the world. And where Anita ji said US has not given any vaccines. Madam, I just want to tell you, please do the fact checks. We are still fighting much more doses for India. US has done. We thank India for what this government has done. And the second thing is what US reciprocated. It is the diaspora which has worked, lobbied day in, day out, on individual level, from the government level, and our one of the own Indian origin congressman, Raja Krishnamurthy from the Illinois 8th district. He is in my district. He's born in New Delhi. He was 3 months old. He migrated here. He has taken a pledge to get more and more for the globe as well as for India. He has introduced a bill called NOVID, so there should not be any COVID. So I just wanted to say that how India and US relationship will get impacted with this thing, there should not be, because these are totally very different subjects, because it has grown further, and relationship of any one country to another, because that depends on the people of diaspora. What Lahad is doing
on different issues also,
yeah, what Lahad is doing, he's an ambassador sitting in Spain.
You.
What
Vandana, please don't mind. I don't want to counter you. But whenever it's come to America, you always counter it with the diaspora.
Let the speaker, Vandana ji, speak. Let the Vandana ji speak. Anita ji.
Let the Vandana ji आवाज mute है. I cannot hear you. Anita ji, I cannot hear you. You were muted. Diaspora, what do you mean? So we are living here. We live for India, and we are American. We live for America too. I just want to tell you, you are protecting India because you are sitting there. You can keep abusing America. आप ही ने बोला कि अमेरिका ने कुछ नहीं किया, कुछ नहीं भेजा हमको. So वो जो आपकी बात है, I countered that कि वो गलत है. India has received it.
कि अमेरिका वर्ल्ड की सारी कंपनियां जो है मैन्युफैक्चरिंग वैक्सीन मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कंपनियां वो इंडियन मार्केट को इनकैश करना चाहती थी, लेकिन हमने मौका नहीं दिया. चाहे वो अमेरिका हो चाहे वो चाइना हो, हमने मौका नहीं दिया. What is wrong in it? I am proud of my country, and my country has originated not only one variant of vaccine, but the 3-4 variant of vaccines.
But so, this is not a matter of discussion.
Please, I am feeling proud of my country as a diaspora, as the Indian diaspora. Why are you feeling offended? No, I am feeling proud of my country. So why Indian diaspora sitting in different country is feeling offended?
Excuse me, madam.
And they always want to oblige. We send this, we send this, we send this. They always have.
You said the same thing. India did it. India said hydrochlorine. You said that.
Okay, that's the last question.
Please.
Last question.
Yes.
Vandana ji, thank you. Just the last one. Tiwari ji, this is how the Canada reacted on the issues of Taliban. I'm coming to the point. What is COVID done? And this is we have already discussed many things, and later we'll discuss on the COVID things, how the country is going now. So for your kind information, the new Taliban government in Afghanistan had banned the vaccination to the public of Afghanistan. This is one point I did. What is inhuman? That is different thing. So now this is the last take. How this will go on the view of Taliban, with the acceptance of Taliban, accept the China and Pakistan, and how India will be affected, how Canada will go. Only very briefly in 1 minute.
So your question was such a large canvas. I have to your question was such a large.
I'm directly asking you just to forget
No, I
all
know
things.
you're asking me.
No,
but
no. I just forget. Just how did the Canada, just Canada reacted on the issues of Taliban? So just you tell me, did this relation due to Taliban, there is any impact on the Indo-Canada relationship due to Taliban issue?
Okay, well, Canada's reaction towards Taliban and impact on Indo-Taliban issue. Okay.
No, Indo-Canada issue, not Indo-Taliban issue.
Okay, Indo-Canada issue.
Yeah.
Well, Canada is a democratic country, and so is Bharat, Hindustan. I will restrain myself using word India. So they both are democratic country. They both have same standard point of view. They both work for democracy, parliamentary democracy. We have human rights. We are talking about it. Women's rights. We are talking about it. So all those things are protected by the Constitution of Bharat, as well as here in Canada for Canadians as well. Question coming about it, I'm very, very sure that Canada and Bharat will work jointly somehow in a larger forum how to answer back what should be done so in Afghanistan the human rights issues are taken care. Because let's put it this way, when we talk about global village and when we are talking about all this and when we talk about the business and stuff, it doesn't mean that, it also means
sir,
that
I requested 30 seconds. This is going to the 2 minutes now.
let me complete because that's related to your
already
question.
across the time. Yes, sir, please.
So the thing is this, very clearly, please understand, we are not living in an isolated world. If something happening in Afghanistan is affecting here us, okay, it's going to affect over there too. So we are living in a global village and world has to act. World has failed. United Nations have failed. And somehow we have to stop the Talibanization of our mind. When we try to dictate terms, when we think that we are right, everything is wrong.
Sir, let me correct. United Nations has not failed, has taken
Sir,
the stand.
no, I totally failed. Completely failed. You can
I am telling you, this is the fact.
Sir, your fact is wrong. Your fact is your fact. I am saying
sir, there is a statement on United Nations, UNSC.
United Nations have failed miserably in Afghanistan. That's my statement, sir. And I'm saying it. They did not act.
But on the record, on the diplomacy front, on the world relations.
Ask Afghani people who are living and suffering. They will answer you, and they are answering.
Sir,
they are saying,
I am telling you the official stand of United Nations. You can
go
inside, you can find.
I don't think so. A lot of countries, Russia, China,
what is the fact I'm telling you?
A lot of countries, they are recognizing United Nations the way it was before.
I am telling you, United Nations has
I know, sir, but you're not even. Are you a spokesperson for the United Nations?
I am not a I am a spokesman for my country and
for good. No, you're not a spokesman. Okay, well,
but the official stand, I'm just stating.
Well, it's okay. They can have an official stand on so many points, but that doesn't mean that they have acted accordingly.
That may be your interpretation. So nice, all of you. Just you participated in this.
One thing I want to add on Rakesh Tiwari's statement. Don't worry, Rakesh ji. Amrullah Saleh is going to be the hero of this war.
Well, yeah, you mentioned.
So please wait and watch.
Definitely.
No, actually, just I'm going to wind up the program. I request you to please, just so that how the acceptance of Taliban we have just watching. We'll see. Yeah. Wait and watch how many countries will accept or not, and why and what for. In diplomacy, no permanent friend and foe, and the politics also no any permanent enemy and the friends. But here is now political situation going to change. How the new development is going on in Afghanistan. How the women of Afghanistan has raised the voice. How the yesterday Jalalabad scene was different. So I think whatever 96 to 2001, as I try to analyze this Talibanese system of the governance in Afghanistan will not be so longer what they have planned. So that is a issue. And next we'll also discuss. So nice of you to participate in this program, and we'll later discuss on this thing. Please see, just watch, subscribe the Global Governance TV. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.